Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It has been a while since my last 20-week update. I'm now 32 weeks. I was planning to do an update a lot earlier, but you know, a lot of things were happening, a lot of appointments, things to do, baby preparations, so here I am, 32 weeks, a lot of things to cover, but I'm gonna try to go through it really fast. Before we start on the things that happen, let's talk really quickly about the symptoms. And there's not many symptoms to talk about really. This pregnancy has been really blessed since the very beginning. If you haven't seen my first couple of updates from this pregnancy, I'm gonna link those videos below and maybe somewhere over here. The one very persistent and consistent symptom is my tailbone pain, which started in the very beginning of my second trimester and still is happening now. It doesn't happen every day, at least it didn't used to in my second trimester, and it would only happen if I lift or push something semi-heavy or if I walk a lot. But now in my third trimester it's started to happen more frequently and stronger. I'm actually gonna see a chiropractor in 2 days for the first time in this pregnancy. I'm a little bit nervous. I don't know if it's gonna help, if it's gonna hurt, but I've heard that it could be helpful as far as reducing the pain in the tailbone, but also help loosen everything up for the birth. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. I have tried heat to just put on top of it, and it seems very nice, very soothing, like I'm getting a warm massage or something, but in reality it doesn't really help that much. Around week 21 I did have an yeast infection, and I don't get those too often. This is kind of embarrassing to talk about, but it's I think it's a normal thing in pregnancy, but this time around it was a little bit stronger and it lasted a little bit longer. But by the time I saw the doctor it was gone, and I brought it up to her. She said it's fine because the hormones are changing. Went away on its own, but it just wasn't too pleasant to deal with. Speaking of embarrassing symptoms, one of you asked me in the comments a while back if I do have some embarrassing symptoms. In my third trimester, I did get a little bit more gassy, but it's not terrible. But yeah, I'm actually surprised it's just happening now and not throughout my whole pregnancy. I feel like it's a pretty common symptom. I also noticed that I started to get a little more emotional in the end of my second trimester, in the beginning of my third trimester, but it's just a couple days here and there, nothing major. It just, I cry a little bit more easily, which is totally normal for me. But yeah, a little bit more of that now than I had it previously in this pregnancy. And I guess the last symptom, and I don't even know if you can call it a symptom, just a cool thing that is happening, is I've been feeling my baby move like a lot, like every day. And I don't know why, but I feel like people don't talk about that, and I was not expecting that. I started to feel the baby move on week 17, and it was just little flatters, and then it got stronger and stronger, and now she's just flipping around and pushing this way and pushing to the sides, and it's just adorable. It's not painful yet. It's just cute. But it's happening so much. Just know. I don't know if I have a super active baby or everybody has it and people just don't talk about it. So be aware. It's like the cutest thing too. And also movement is good. If you feel the baby move every day, it's a really good sign that the pregnancy is going well and most likely the baby is healthy. So alright, so let's talk about the major things that happen from week 20 to now. First of all, major for me. I changed providers at week 26. And for a second there, it was a nightmare. I called so many doctors. I called my insurance a few times. It was pretty stressful at the time because not all providers accept you after a certain point of your pregnancy, because they kind of want to follow you throughout the whole journey. So I had to make sure, first of all, that my insurance covered that provider, and second of all, that provider would take me so late in the pregnancy. Usually I think they don't take anybody after 20 weeks or so. A little bit of a backstory. Around week 21, I had an appointment with my OBGYN and I brought up natural birth to her. And when I say natural, I mean unmedicated, vaginal, minimal invasive birth. Let's just say she didn't seem completely on board with that, which concerned me. Of course, she said that, yeah, sure, we can do that. But then she brought up, for some reason, C-section and the percentage of how many people in America have the C-section. And I don't know, kind of felt like she was trying to scare me or warn me, which I, of course, know if there's an emergency, there's an emergency. I can definitely not control it. I mean, it's hard to explain, but from the tone of what she was saying and how she was saying, I just didn't trust that she would be on my side and that she would explain her decision to me or try to convince me that it's the right call. I didn't feel like she would be patient with me. I don't know, just in my heart, I did not have peace. After that appointment, I went outside crying. Of course, I prayed about it and I thought about it a lot. I was still kind of trying to convince myself that I guess I could stay in this hospital, I could stay this provider. God has everything under control no matter where I am. In addition to that, I didn't want to go through that process of finding a new doctor. I knew it would be super stressful because I kind of had that experience before with my last pregnancy that ended in miscarriage. I knew my insurance had very limited list of providers that it covers. I knew it's not going to be fun to do it. So I was trying to convince myself that it would be okay. I have this pretty popular verse that I would like to read to you. It's from Matthew 7:7. It says, "Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find it. Knock and it will be open to you. For everyone who asks receives, and he who seeks finds, and to him who knocks it will be opened." In no way it works as God being some type of a genie that grants you wishes and gives you everything that you want. But he does listen, he does answer. Just sometimes he doesn't answer like we have it in mind, but he does answer and he does give us exactly what we need according to his will. If we don't ask, we don't receive, right? It's just a logical thing too. So kind of with that verse in mind, I started to work on that process. Of course, I talked to my husband about it. I asked a couple of friends from church what they thought about it. I was thinking about midwives, if they are available, if the insurance covers it at all. To be honest, I was even thinking about home birth if I couldn't find a provider that I trusted. But of course, it's my first pregnancy. I don't know how it would go. I don't think I would ever be brave enough to just birth at home. We'll see in the future, but definitely not for now. Long story short, God has blessed me beyond my imagination, beyond everything I thought I wanted. In this particular scenario, he did answer my prayer to like the to like the highest thing I could imagine, I could ask for. I don't know, I'm just really, really, really thankful to him for taking care of me like that, for taking care of my emotional state, and that everything just worked out perfectly. I'm gonna tell you in a second where I'm hopefully will be giving birth, but if he didn't make that happen, that would still be okay, because I know that would be his will for me to go another route, for me to either stick with the doctor that I had and suck it up or to find something else that is more suitable. Yeah, whatever his will is, I would know that I did my part. So whatever happened beyond that, it was all from him. It was all his doing. I'm giving birth at an amazing hospital. It's a pretty popular and well-equipped hospital, freshly renovated. It's in a good area. Not that it matters too much, but it has amazing reviews compared to the other place I was going to give birth. The main part though is I could give birth in a birthing suite with midwives. And that's exactly what I wanted. And my insurance covers it. And it just, my mind is blown. I didn't even know it's possible, honestly, for insurance to cover midwives. I know some situations it is possible. I didn't think my personal insurance would do it. But the even more amazing part is that if something goes wrong and I do need emergency C-section, or I change my mind on the natural way and I want an epidural, for example, they have the doctor and like a hospital, regular hospital room right on the same floor. So it is perfect to me. I'm just so happy and I feel so grateful. I'm actually excited to give birth. Before, I was kind of worried about the hospital, about the doctor. Now I just can't wait. Every time I go to see midwives at the appointment, they're so incredibly nice and sweet and knowledgeable. And I also met a doctor over there and she's also amazing. She's also seemed very supportive of the natural stuff. So yeah, beyond any words I could say. God works miracles and it's just amazing. When I started the process of changing the provider, I was 21 weeks. By the time I actually got in and had the appointment, I was 26 weeks. So it's another miracle that they took me. The only negative thing, if you can say that, is it's 45 minutes away. It's totally worth it though. The drive is fine for the amazing package that I'm getting. But my only worry is when I actually go into labor, how the car ride is gonna go. But it should be fine. If it's gonna happen at night with no traffic, it's only 30 minutes. So I'm hoping I will be okay. We'll see. The next major thing that happened was a glucose test, which you're supposed to take this test between week 24 and 28. I got mine at 28. What is a glucose test? Glucose is sugar, right? So they test you on how well your body processes the sugar in your pregnancy. I was told not to eat 2 hours before the appointment. I know some places say that you have to do it on an empty stomach. So you drink very sugary drink, wait 1 hour, and then they prick your finger and tell you the result right away, which I was surprised. I thought I would have to wait a few days, but they did it right there. That is called 1 hour glucose test. And if you fail that, that means you have a higher chance of gestational diabetes. That's diabetes that you only have in pregnancy, and after you give birth it usually goes away. If you fail the test, they give you, I think, a 3-hour test. Same thing, you drink something very sweet and then you wait 3 hours and then they see the result. I passed. I was 130 out of 135. So cutting it pretty close, but my midwife said it's fine. They're happy with any number that's under 135, and some places they have this level even higher at 140. Yeah, I'm just very happy. One, because I made a mistake and googled the risks of gestational diabetes for the pregnancy and for the baby. Don't Google. Just the less you know, the better you sleep. And two is because I'm already watching my diet and my calorie intake so I don't blow up in this pregnancy and can go back to my original weight a little bit easier. I could not be able to handle not eating sugar at all. I am a very sugary person. I like sugar a lot. And one of the people I know who had the gestational diabetes said that she couldn't have fruits even. So I think it would make my life very miserable and depressing, to be honest. Although I am trying to eat healthier and I try not to eat too many sugary things, but I cannot put it out of my life completely just yet. Also, just wanted to mention, at the new place I met the doctor first, and when I saw her, she gave me the sugary drink to take home and the instructions on what to do before the glucose test. I think I might have it still in my fridge. Hold on. Here it is. It looks like this. It says contains 5 grams glucose per ounce. The reason I still have it is because the next appointment I switched to midwife, and she suggested that instead of this chemical thing, I can go with a more natural approach and just drink some juice that have 50 grams of sugar. I chose the juice naked, which tastes so good. And now I know why. Because it has so much sugar. Not added sugar, just the fruit sugar, but it's insane. I've never noticed that. Oh, by the way, I talked to my friend in Russia who has also done the glucose test, and she sent me a picture of what they get there. It's just some kind of powder that you mix with water, and she says when you drink it, it's very yucky and it doesn't taste good. And it's too sweet and it's disgusting. So yeah, I was so happy that I could just drink juice and everything was delicious. If you have done the glucose test, let me know what kind of drink did you have to drink, especially if you're in another country. I'm just so curious, like how do they do it in other places? So comment below. Also, at the same appointment with the glucose test, they drew my blood at 28 weeks and I got the result a few days later. Everything was good except my iron level. It was a bit lower than it's supposed to be, and I kind of felt that when I was at work. I walk a lot for one of my jobs. Sometimes I felt very weak and lightheaded. I felt like I had no strength in my arms, and I just had to sit down and just rest, and I just felt the weakness in my body. And I thought it was kind of normal because I kind of felt like that my whole life. Even though my iron level was okay, I always would get kind of tired quickly. I'm like more calm, reserving my energy. So yeah, I thought it was normal, and then I find out that. So they actually put me on iron supplements once a day, 2 little pills, not too bad, and I think I do feel better. I don't have that weakness as often as I used to, or maybe not at all. So it's good. Okay, the last thing, I guess I'm gonna show you my baby bump. 32 weeks. It has definitely grown. Oh, I forgot to tell you, I got my maternity pants. At the end of my 2nd trimester, I gave up and finally purchased my first maternity pants, and it's amazing. Please get yourself a maternity pants. They are a game changer. So yeah, look at that. Look how big. Look how big and cute. 32 weeks. You can actually tell that I'm pregnant. One of my friends who's also pregnant 1 month ahead of me, and every time she sees me, she's like, "Your stomach is so small." I'm like, "No, it's big. Look at it. It's huge." It's actually not super big so far. It is getting harder to walk, to turn at night, but it's definitely not as hard as I would imagine it would be at this point. My midwife actually measured the stomach and it's right on track, so I'm good. I'm not worried about that. Little baby, she's moving and she's living in there. She's actually asleep right now. But yeah, can you believe it, guys? I started this channel because of infertility, because of the 2 miscarriages that we had, and now I'm so far along in this pregnancy. I just I'm so grateful. Thank God. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to subscribe and give it a like. And I'll see you guys later.